Hey everybody, it's Sam with Wrestling Overtime, and we're reviewing WWE Smackdown on February 7th of 2020. We're making our way through these quickly and going to get all caught up. I want to let you guys know that starting with Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia and March 1st, we are going to be going with the news, hopefully daily. We're going to be putting out a podcast daily. They're going to run anywhere from 5 minutes to about an hour, reviewing different rumors that are going on, the ratings, updates, giving any kind of information. Don't forget that you can hit us up at wrestlingovertime@gmail.com, or you can tweet us or go to our Facebook page at Wrestling Overtime. On our Facebook page, we are bringing together all kinds of different sites and putting together kind of what they say so that you can go one place and find all your news and entertainment in one just Facebook page. You don't have to follow anyone else if you don't want to. Like I said, we're reviewing SmackDown tonight, and it is in San Jose, California. The Miz and John Morrison kick it off. And they start off with saying that they're going to be taking on the New Day in Saudi Arabia and that this is the return of the Dirt Sheet. I'm going to be real honest with you. I vaguely remember the return of the Dirt Sheet, or excuse me, just the Dirt Sheet. I don't remember John Morrison being a big part of that. I remember it being pretty much the launching pad of The Miz and The Miz show. But they preview this awful trailer about them taking on the New Day. And then, of course, the New Day music pops and they interrupt and start making stupid jokes about Mr. Miz. Not real sure why still basically a year later Mr. Miz is a thing. I know that he was on the Miz and the Miz's episode there, I guess it was last week, talking about WrestleMania, his WrestleMania moment, and how he capitalized on it by creating his own merchandise and having his own meet and greets and everything, and then how WWE kind of jumped on the bandwagon. It was a great and funny episode of The Miz and Mrs. And if you guys are not watching that show, you definitely should be tuning into it after NXT goes off on Wednesday nights. And no, I'm not getting paid to do a commercial or anything, but I'm telling you, 30 minutes of it is a lot funnier and most of the time way more entertaining than what SmackDown has been recently. But anyway, like I said, the New Day is just making kind of stupid jokes. The Usos come out, and then Dolph Ziggler's music hits, and it's almost like as soon as it hits, the Dirt Sheet just basically attacks the New Day. But they say we're going to have an Usos, Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode match. So I don't know what's going on there. Why did we even have the Dirt Sheet out? Then why did we have New Day come out if we're going to have an Usos versus Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode match? I'm not following that. Either have a confrontation between the Dirt Sheet and the New Day to pump up the coming match in Saudi Arabia, or have a confrontation between the Usos and Ziggler and Roode. The Usos can more than handle their own in the promo segment, and Ziggler and Roode can talk pretty well and are entertaining by themselves. And I don't understand why we are even continuing this Corbin Reigns saga. Didn't they dump dog food on him? Didn't he lose? I thought that would be the end of it. Well, I was hoping, anyway, that would be the end of it. So I liked the match between the Usos and Ziggler and Rude, but it was just a typical match with the Usos winning, and there wasn't anything even exciting to report other than the Usos won again. Who cares? So then we get a Goldberg preview, and it says, Goldberg, who's next? And then they want to remind us that WrestleMania is 58 days away. So I'm like everyone else, since Goldberg was kind of, previewed for this, not only just now on TV, but leading up, like on Twitter, on Facebook. From what I understand, they even previewed it in San Jose that, Goldberg was going to be on this edition of SmackDown. So I'm kind of looking for, something big to happen out of this. Anyway, we come back, and Alexa Bliss is talking to Nikki Cross about how she's going to win the Fatal 4-Way match that she has against Carmella, Naomi, and Dana Brooke, and the winner of this gets to take on Bayley. And I'm thinking, really? We have a Fatal 4-Way? Huh. Well, how did they choose these four? How is Dana Brooke in there? I don't understand that. I know, yes, it seems like it's been 6 months, but I know it wasn't that long ago that Dana Brooke was flirting with Batista on Twitter, and that it got a lot of people excited, and a lot of people were interested in that Twitter back and forth and exchange, and are they dating, are they not? But I don't think it was enough to put Dana Brooke into every match coming and going. Is her contract running out? Or are we getting ready to offer her a bunch of money? Or what's going on? Why is she even in this Fatal 4-Way? Alexa Bliss, Carmella, and Naomi, they are all popular with the fan base. I can totally understand that. I guess I'm just going to make the assumption that Dana Brooke is going to be the jobber, and she's going to get pinned. And I'm not sure that Naomi needs to be in this match. I love Naomi. Love her on Total Bellas. Trinity seems to be a great person. She is an athletic, great wrestler, but she's been gone. And so why are we putting her, right back in the title picture? Shouldn't you kind of have to work your way up a little bit? And where is Lacey Evans? Did she take a vacation? Is she off? Is she injured? What's going on? So anyway, we go back to this whole flashback of the dog food match. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I thought this was just gross. And so I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it. It was spent checking my phone because I could care less about the dog food. I think that it is nasty. I can't believe they showed it on TV. I don't want to see it again and again and again. I guess there's some segment of the wrestling world population that gets into dumping dog food all over everybody and looking at how gross it is, but so Baron Corbin bursts in the production truck, and he wants to find out who played that flashback. And of course, the guy raises his hand. All of them just had to sit there. Corbin wouldn't have ever known, and I don't know that he was smart enough to figure it out. But anyway, the guy admits, hey, I did it. And so Corbin just basically picks him up and throws him down the steps and is going to start beating on him, but executives stop him. Which again, I've griped and complained on this podcast that I think Corbin basically is a chicken, so it just kind of fits his role that the executives stop him. He doesn't even have to have referees to stop him from beating down this poor guy in the production truck. And then we go back to Elias. He's in the ring. He's all set up with his guitar, and he says he's going to sing a song called "The Third Time is a Charm." Well, of course, Cesaro's music hits, and I automatically get excited because I want Cesaro, the Superman, back, the Swiss Superman. I want James Bond back. I want him in his tearaway suit where he was actually good. I don't like this Cesaro. He's not even being portrayed as like the ultimate bodyguard for Sami Zayn. I want Sami Zayn to be able to say and do whatever he wants, and I want Cesaro to be the ultimate bodyguard and just kicking people left and right and protecting Sami Zayn. But no, they can't do that. So, I know that Cesaro is somehow going to get into this with Elias, and it's not going to work out. But anyway, Sammy comes out and sarcastically apologizes for, interrupting poor Elias. And then he talks about how Shinsuke had just lost his title to Braun Strowman, and Elias actually came out and interrupted them thinking about that, and how he's going to have Cesaro come out and basically interrupt Elias. Well, thanks, Sammy. Basically, you just threw him to the wolves. They're trying to build Elias up. He's got good reaction with the crowd. But, however, I thought while he was away, they would change his gimmick just a little bit. Him singing the songs and getting interrupted and everything is great and all. But they really didn't change his look, didn't change his actions, didn't change anything really about him. And so I don't see him getting over any more than he ever was before. I think he needs to switch something up. But anyway, of course, Cesaro and Elias have a match, and Elias wins, and basically they've just turned Cesaro into the jobber of this faction of Sammy's that Sammy's building. And I understand that Shinsuke was just the champion, but I really wish that it wasn't Cesaro that always has to take all the losses. So then they show a commercial, and they have to tell us that Charlotte Flair is going to be on backstage this coming week, and how excited we're supposed to be about this. Well, it's Friday night, and you're plugging something on Tuesday. Why don't you plug Raw? Well, yeah, you're not going to plug Raw because you're on Fox, and that's on the USA Network. So you're going to plug your own show backstage, which is just... It keeps going further and further down in the rankings. It's getting less and less people to watch it. I think you're going to have to move it time slots. I think you would get more people and higher ratings out of it if you show it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon rather than, 11 o'clock at night, when it's not being followed up by... it's not following a wrestling show or even really a wrestling night. Tuesday night, when I'm thinking about possibly watching Impact, I'm not usually watching Impact, but if I was, I wouldn't be thinking, I need to turn it over on WWE Backstage. Usually Wednesday morning or Wednesday, after work, when I'm looking at my DVR, I'm like, Backstage taped. It was last night. I forgot all about it, and I'll watch it. But I'm backstage is not something that I'm going to watch live. Because like I said, usually I have forgotten about it. But anyway, when they come back from commercial, Corbin comes out and he's talking about how he's still king of the ring and how everyone needs to listen to him and how he is, basically the king of SmackDown. He starts putting down that Roman Reigns should have fought him one-on-one at the Rumble. Well, great, Corbin, but Dolph and Bobby Roode come out also. It wasn't just the Usos. And basically, they got chased off and were supposedly, I guess, fighting each other, and you were taking Roman Reigns on yourself. But you kind of forget that. So Corbin comes out and demands, he wants one more match against Roman Reigns. So he comes out and basically dumps a drink on a fan. And I hope this guy was a plant or they gave him some money to dump a drink on him. But we hear, of course, Roman Reigns' music hit, and he comes out and basically just beats on Corbin outside of the ring, and as soon as he beats on him for a couple minutes, Corbin, of course, runs away like the chicken heel that he is, just like we talked about, and Roman Reigns, of course, grabs the mic. He calls Corbin a coward, and he basically accepts. That's great. We'll have one more match, and by the way, it's going to be a steel cage match. Oh, it is? It's going to be a steel cage match? WWE. Come on. You're going to put Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin in a steel cage match after AEW has already gave Cody stipulations stipulations by MJF in order to get a match with MJF, and one of those stipulations is that AEW is going to have their first ever steel cage match against Cody and Wardlow. Now in 2019, which was just last year, Cody versus Dustin basically ran away with the match of the year. Cody is over more than probably just about anybody in WWE. He is the babyface of AEW. He is in one of the best storylines that is going on right now. And he's going to get in the first ever steel cage match with Wardlow. With AEW, it's going to be blood and guts, and that Cody is going to be tortured, and then he's going to win. So your idea is to either, the week before, the week of, or the week after. I don't know when you're planning on doing this, because you didn't announce a date. But you plan on putting Roman Reigns, who is not a great wrestler, and Baron Corbin in a steel cage match. You want that comparison? You want the comparison between AEW's first ever steel cage match with Cody in it. You want that comparison. You are stupider than what anyone ever thought you were. Anyway, then they disappoint all the fans in San Jose because they thought Goldberg was actually going to show up on SmackDown. But no. Goldberg is actually at his home in Texas, and he's on satellite. He says that he understands that Brock is busy with Ricochet and getting prepared for Drew McIntyre. And he thinks his reign as the Universal Champion was too short. So, and then he's interrupted. Well, let me stop right there. Number one, I feel sorry for San Jose. If you're listening to this from San Jose, I personally want to apologize to you. WWE definitely needs to apologize to you for, basically advertising Goldberg coming to SmackDown or being shown on SmackDown because he didn't actually come there. He was on satellite. Goldberg, I know you're getting paid basically a lot of money, but I really think that they're just using you. This is not going to get your career back on track. This is not going to leave you a great legacy or anything like that. Or at least I hope. Hello, WWE, if you have Goldberg beat The Fiend, you're idiots. But anyway, let's go back to it. The Firefly Funhouse music, breaking news interrupts. And of course, we see Bray behind a desk and he's giving the news. He's dressed as a news anchor. He's even got a tie on. It's not tightened and looks good, but he's got a tie on. And he says that rumor is that Billy is gonna challenge the Fiend. And I love how, of course, Bray has to use Billy. And then I noticed that they've even got the little news crawler going on at the bottom of the screen, talking about Rambling Rabbit, talking about Mercy, talking about Abby. Love it. But anyway, says, Bray then changes his voice and says, well, he accepts. So we've got ourselves a match. The Fiend is going to be taking on Goldberg. So Goldberg says, well, intimidation really doesn't work on him, and he's going to be taking his belt. And Goldberg then says, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, you're next. And Bray says, well, that's not very nice. And he has to do, let him in. Well, I hope this is a Saudi Arabia match. I hope Bill Goldberg is getting paid well, and I hope he loses. Because if, for 1 second, WWE is thinking about having Goldberg beat The Fiend and just kind of ruin all momentum that they have created with this character, well, like I said, they're pretty much idiots. But we then go to Daniel Bryan sitting in the locker room with his hands on his head, and Heath Slater comes up to him and loves he's always changing something. He's changed his hair, and he's being the nice guy that he is, that's got all the kids. He says, did you see all this Goldberg and Bray Wyatt stuff? He said, Goldberg doesn't know what he's getting into. He said he should have asked you. He says that, basically everyone changes when they get into a match with Bray Wyatt, and he can't believe that Bray Wyatt whipped up on Daniel and how he was tied with him, and he tells Daniel Bryan, that was a stupid choice for a match, and he then ends with, you know what I mean? So, Daniel Bryan just challenges him to match. So they immediately kind of go to flashbacks of the Daniel Bryan Bray Wyatt strap match, and they show basically Bray beating up on him and everything. And so then they show the match of Daniel Bryan versus Heath Slater. We all know how this is going to go. Daniel Bryan's all fired up. He's going to beat him with yes kicks, and then he's gonna tear into him. And so then he does basically his submission move, and Heath Slater submits. Down and dirty. Boom. So then we go into flashbacks, because if you listened to the podcast earlier about Raw, you knew it was flashback week on WWE. They wasted probably 45 minutes on flashbacks on Raw, so they are showing the flashbacks on SmackDown also. They show flashbacks of Braun and Nakamura, and how Shinsuke lost his belt and Braun finally won his first singles title. We see Renee in the ring, and I'm like, oh yay, Renee's back. Renee is going to be our interviewer again. Renee's in the ring, and then I remember, we're in San Jose. She films in LA. She lives in Vegas. It's basically a short little plane ride, and so she does an in-ring interview with Braun, and she's not back, and I'm so disappointed. But anyway, it seemed like the fans were just kind of lukewarm. They weren't really into Braun, and then of course Sami and Shinsuke have to come out, and Sami says that they demand an honorable championship rematch, and so Braun says, well, fine, yeah, I accept tonight. Let's do it tonight. And Sami says, no, we don't do anything rash or impulsive or anything like that. He needs to think. And the Revival shoot into the ring and basically chop block Braun. And Shinsuke, of course, helps them attack them, and then Braun has to get them all back, and Shinsuke hits him with 2 running knees. But then they kind of leave it, and the announcers don't really explain about the Revival. And, of course, we're all counting down to when the Revival is leaving WWE, and we're wanting them to leave WWE and go somewhere else, go somewhere where their talent is. So I'm wondering, where is the WWE going with this? I didn't know the Revival had any connection whatsoever to Sami or to Shinsuke. I have never known them to fight with Braun, so I'm just kind of wondering where exactly they got this. But anyway, we get to see Daniel Cormier and his son in the crowd, and then we get to see Otis. Everybody loves Otis, right? No. When I see Otis, I immediately think WWE is going to act like I'm a 5-year-old, and they're going to show me something gross. Because I'm sorry, guys, I'm doing this podcast. I'm a girl. I don't want to see Otis bare-chested. I don't want to see his stomach at all. I definitely don't want to see it jiggling. But we see him, getting ready for his Valentine's Day date with Mandy Rose, and him trying on different outfits. And of course, a lot of them include short, tight t-shirts that have his stomach out and jiggling. Yeah, I didn't really need to see that. I know they're going for the Beauty and the Beast kind of gimmick or whatever. I just don't want to see his belly. I want someone to hold up a sign or make a shirt saying no more Otis's belly. Maybe Sonya Deville can do that. Sonya Deville, can you get on that? Can you wear a shirt that says no more Otis belly? Anyway, then we see Sheamus come out, and he's facing Apollo Crews. I'm not going into this. This is your basic jobber match. We know Apollo Crews got a run there I don't know, it's been a year or two, and that they were actually using him. We actually saw what he can do, but ever since then, he did something, he made somebody mad, or he didn't get over fast enough, or something. They have turned him into a jobber. So this is just your basic jobber match where, Sheamus basically kills Apollo Crews, and that's it. So that leads us to our main event, which is the Fatal 4-Way of Dana Brooke. We don't know why she's there. Alexis Bliss, Carmelo, and Naomi. And of course, this is like any other Fatal 4-Way. Instead of having, two participants, two wrestlers, two women, whatever you want to say, two people outside the ring fighting and two people inside the ring fighting, or all four of them fighting, or two of them ganging up on two of them, or whatever. No, we have a lot of hiding over in the corner or outside the ring, or laying down and pretending we're dying for minutes at a time. And it is borderline ridiculous. Luckily we have Bayley at the announcer's table. Naomi ends up going after Bayley, but it settles down fairly quickly, so the match continues. They say, in a Fatal 4-Way there was no disqualification, so it doesn't matter. Now, if there's no disqualification, let's think about this rationally. Not WWE-wise, but let's think about this rationally. If I was Bayley, I would get a ring bell, I would get a chair, I would get a kendo stick, and I would beat the three of them senseless until Dana Brooke was the only one, and then I would throw her on top of the pile, let her get a pin, and say, Dana, I will see you in the next pay-per-view. But no, they can't have Bayley do that, because that's what an evil heel would do. And of course, Bayley's not. Why they keep trying to pretend that she's a heel, I don't know. But anyway, the match continues, and basically, at the end of it, Carmella is the winner with some super kicks. She decides to super kick everybody and pins, and then Bayley attacks Carmella. Yeah, like we didn't see that one coming. She'd already gotten involved with Naomi, so we knew she was gonna get involved with Carmella. Now, why Corey Graves didn't bring some real life reality to this and grab Bayley and say, oh, no, you're not hurting my girlfriend, and kind of get an interesting story where Bayley could have been on his podcast. They could have went back and forth on Twitter and on Facebook and kind of got some actual popularity going on, gotten Bayley some heat or something like that. No, they can't do that because they can't think ahead. But anyway, that's basically the end of the show. They just made this show kind of quick and easy. I'm at the 33-minute mark because there was nothing exciting on this show. I mean, nothing. SmackDown has been going downhill now for over a month. Ratings have been going down for over a month. They just are not making this even a little bit interesting. They have to generate some storylines some way, somehow. I mean, you think about it, the most interesting thing that is going on right now on SmackDown is The Fiend and the Mandy and Otis love story. Can anyone else think of anything? Anything? Yeah, it's pretty bad. guys, you've got to get it together. Got to get it together. But anyway, if you disagree, you have any booking ideas, you want to agree with me, or however, if you want to hear the news in a short form podcast like this, then you guys hit me up. Like I said, I am on wrestlingovertime@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Facebook or Twitter at Wrestling Overtime, where we will be bringing you guys the news, rumors, updates, tweets from all your WWE and AEW superstars and what has been going on. And I look forward to talking to you guys soon. I'm out.